Carp Anglers. My name is James Sanders, and I am the CEO of Team Fish Fighters. You see that little red button down there? It says subscribe. Hit that subscribe button plus the bell button, and you automatically be notified with our great carp adventures. Thanks for watching.
Hey Carp Anglers, James Sanders here, and
Tommy Pearson. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. They're doing great. You guys doing great?
Give us a thumbs up if you guys are doing great. Or send that heart.
You guys are also on Facebook Live, and also in a couple of days we'll have it on YouTube on a video, so please check us out. And please do not forget to subscribe.
Look at you. I've been practicing in the mirror. I was about to say you've been practicing.
I've been practicing.
How's your week been though? You been alright this week?
Good. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yep, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, so I'm not wearing green. Are you wearing green?
No, but I mean,
you got a green drink?
I got a green drink. Got green in my pocket, and
I've been finding those St. Patrick hats.
Huh?
I've been finding all kind of St. Patrick's hats.
Man, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I feel like I'm a little bit too old for that. Really.
Irish. Like to be Irish.
My St. Patty's Day, as a lot of people on Facebook found out today, I'm going to be a father again.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Gonna have a little baby girl due September 25th.
Congratulations, Amy.
Yeah, congratulations,
for putting
babe.
up with him.
Yeah. And all my fishing.
Oh Lord.
But you guys, man, we got a good show today, man.
Great show.
We got Keith Cisney from ProLine Baits. Man, there's a couple guys, in my opinion, that's, in North Carolina, we're behind. Yeah. Indiana is way behind when it comes to the carp fishing community and stuff like that. And they are so much ahead of us, man, that, like Keith himself, he's done an excellent job with his flavors. But he actually got the flavor company into Bass Pro and Cabela's. He started out with the crappie and the bluegill and the bass stuff. You know what I mean? And got his foot in the door, and then obviously it opened up to bigger things. So
for a carp fisherman.
Yeah. So that's a good thing that we know we're going to see him there. But we're going to talk a lot about that.
We got a lot to talk about him.
Anything we need to talk about or anything before we give him a call or?
No. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. Really happy. My daughter, she's 16. She's really happy too to have a little sister. So.
Yeah. So that's great, man.
Oh. We got a video shoot this weekend.
Yes, I am excited. We got a video shoot. Me and the team, our team.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, we're leaving tomorrow night. You
no.
No.
Saturday morning. I gotta get things together, man. I gotta get things together. I gotta get some pack baits together for a couple of teammates. I think Troy is gonna try to take some bottom feeder baits down there to PA
and push it down there.
See what happens.
Well, I mean, it's a proven fact that the stuff works.
You see what Rick caught?
Yeah, he set some nice fish. Nice. That's actually who I'm riding. Me and him is leaving out tomorrow night to go down there. We're going to fish Friday night and fish Saturday, so hopefully when you guys get there, we already got them all baited in.
Oh my God. I kind of envy you, but it's all good. Good. But, let's go ahead and, I don't got anything. You want to go ahead and give a call?
Yeah, we go ahead and give him a call. Let me go ahead and get his number over there.
So how you guys out there? Give me some love. Give me some hearts.
We need to do a night river tournament. Man, John Daniels, man, it's
let's do it.
I mean, I'm sure we could do it, man, but
we're at river. What river are you talking about? I would loved it. Ohio.
Yeah, but man, just getting people to travel to Ohio would probably be the thing.
You build it and they'll come.
It'd be nice if we can find somewhere that has some really nice carp in it. And I love our White River and stuff like that, but I do not like fishing in front of Westside Bait and Tackle, the old Westside Bait and Tackle.
Yeah, bad.
Just because you're fishing by, you got them dams right there, so it stops a lot of the fish from coming through, and you only catch what's been stuck in there until it rains and whatnot.
I know the city's supposed to be working on that White River in the future, so hopefully things starts working out the right way. So now Tom is going to go ahead and call Keith. Get this from South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
South Carolina. Got any South Carolina boys out watching us?
South Carolina. Let us know where you guys are watching us from, too.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So let's see that. I know we got some from California, Michigan, Texas. Keith! This is James Sanders, Tommy Pearson from Podcast Carp Talk. How you doing, brother? Yeah, living the dream, living the dream. What?
Hey, we all know.
Sounds like Keith's doing a good job living the dream.
Man, he's, my hat is off to him.
Yeah.
If I had any hair, I would give it to him, too.
So, how you doing, Keith?
Oh, just,
Thinking about fishing?
yeah, I mean, especially on days like today where it's upper 70s and,
Nice.
you know, stuck inside the shop and,
Yeah.
you know, the work comes first.
That definitely 100%.
Yeah, I was right there today, too. I kept coming outside to the truck, or I went to go get lunch for the guys or whatever, and wishing I was fishing for sure. But like he said, you know, we got to make sure our bills are paid and stuff like that first, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you know, like we kind of talked a little bit here and there, and with your ProLine baits, and you just made a big announcement just last Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Saturday we announced that, so this coming Saturday, the 19th, will be at Concord Mills, the Bass Pro Shops in Concord Mills. It's just north of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Sweet.
And so that's where we're going to, you know, have all the carp products available to the public. And, of course, you know, we'll also have all of our bass, crappie, trout, catfish. We'll have all that stuff there as well.
Nice, nice.
And just it marks a huge milestone when
Yeah.
it comes to, you know, especially on the carp side of it, you know,
Yeah.
being able, you know, to see carp products set in a big box store
Right.
is huge for the, you know, for the U.S. market.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Bigger, way bigger than we can even think about,
yeah.
really.
I definitely haven't really showed Tommy the photos that you sent me. But
Oh, I know, hey, I know what he's about.
Yeah. He was even showing me a couple of little video clips of his production, how's you know his boilermakers and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm gonna try to post that up there on the YouTube video too, and you know for you guys to in the future to you know here in a couple days to check it out on our YouTube channel. But Keith, you know it's a pleasure to have you on our show. I tried to get you to that carp chili meet last.
He was at a
He's at a convention.
yeah, he was at another convention. And
I don't blame him. I don't know what's bigger, you know.
I can't remember which one. Of course, we've been, you know, on the road for the last probably, well, since around the third week in January and haven't stopped.
Right.
You know, like I said, we'll be in Concord this weekend, and then we leave out next Thursday for Columbia, South Carolina for the Palmetto Sportsman's Classic.
Wow.
It's a 3-day go with expected 40,000 attendees, and possibly going to make the trip to Missouri the week after.
Nice.
You know, for the big Bass Pro Shop fair that's going on up there, but that's still undecided yet.
Right.
Just with everything that's going on, we're just not sure we'll be able to make that trip. And you know, we wanted to do Red Crest. It's going on actually this same week, but we was already booked at you know, in here local. So yeah, that's kind of what we got planned here over the next few weeks, and just continue to produce and manufacture product and set them on shelves.
Yeah, keep going. So we're sort of getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Why don't we go ahead real quick? Why don't you kind of like tell us a little bit about yourself? Of course, I already know what company you work for, but
or he owns.
yeah, he owns exactly. Sorry. But just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean,
For the people out there that
don't know,
that
exactly.
don't know you.
And I mean, do you? I know you got ProLine baits. Do you have another job too?
So just to kind of, give everyone a background,
Yeah.
is I've been in the upholstery industry for the last probably 25, 30 years.
Wow.
We've done custom upholstery, furniture, very successful business, and just my passion has always been fishing, especially when I got into the carp fishing. And, been carp fishing probably for 35 years.
Right.
And just as I've watched, the market grow, here in the States, of course, I have owned a pay lake for years and years, since 2006, but I did close it down 5 years ago.
What pay lake was that?
So that was Piney Side Lake and Grill.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, is it still closed down, or is it under new ownership, or?
Actually, no, I closed it down. It's actually my front yard.
Oh, there you go. Heck yeah.
So it's my test pond. So that's where, of course, we have largemouth bass, crappie, brim, trout, catfish, carp, and that's just where we do a lot of our testing, new products. And then, of course, we got within just a couple miles, we have, the big lakes, Lake Bowen, Lake Whitelaw, which we had 2 big carp tournaments on it, I think, back in 2013, 14, or 14, 15, where we had, kind of like they do up in Beeville and up on St. Lawrence River.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, we do a lot of testing here local, and then, we have pro staff, or ambassadors,
Nice.
influencers. We put product in their hand, and, they put it to test in other states, and when we realize and we figure out that it's a product that we want to put on the market, whether it's a new flavor or a new scent or a new species or whatever, we just, we put it through the test, and then when we're ready, we go through the correct steps to make it all happen.
Nice. That's like it.
So yeah, and now, been on my own for about a little over about 2.5 years now,
Mm-hmm.
going on, and ProLine, and, whenever we decided that we wanted to go to the multi-species,
Yeah.
then, of course, the company, we used to be Carp Pro,
Yeah.
that made us pretty specific, and so that's when we come up with the name ProLine Baits, because it showcases, the whole line.
Yeah, not just carp, everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, and so then, rebranded, that was a job going out and to all the retailers and putting all the new labels on, and, and then just started focusing on the bass and the crappie and the trout and the catfish, and, set small goals for the company, and, we had a very good business plan, and like I said, set small reachable goals that we could, target easy.
Right.
And meet that goal, and then, move to the next step.
Right.
And eventually our goals was the big box store, Bass Pro Shop, and just, it took a lot. It takes around 5 to 6 months for all from the time
Uh-huh.
You know, so we do all of our packaging. We carry, you know, where the micro pattern is on, like, for the different, the multi-species, and then the carp are done in, like, 3 different patterns. And, you know, so, yeah, I mean, it's just been a lot of fun. And, of course, packaging is key for brand recognition.
Definitely.
You know, you want people to see your logo, recognize it, and know exactly who they are. And so we put a lot of thought into that. And, yeah, I mean, so that's kind of just gives you an introduction of where I used to be and where I am now. Of course, last July, I stepped away from the upholstery and I've been full-time.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
He's a full-time carp fisherman, everybody.
There you go. That's awesome.
My dream job.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people say you can't make a career out of carp fishing. I'm like, well, I don't know about that.
So I got a question for you, Keith. What would you say that your biggest obstacle was as far as you getting the carp flavors and stuff like that into the Bass Pro shop and stuff like that? Because obviously, you know, they already carry a bunch of different products and name brand as far as crappie, bluegill, bass, brim, or, you know, ready or whatever, you know.
Well, I think the key, and again, it goes back to setting small goals and reach that goal. And number one is to absolutely have a plan. And my plan, I knew that I could not take carp products straight into Bass Pro Shop.
Yes.
So my goal was to put the multi-species in front of them, the bass, crappie, trout, and catfish. Now, my goal really was just to get either the bass or the catfish through the door first.
Yeah.
And actually, when all the samples went out, you know, and then it was just a waiting game. So samples went out in February, around the 1st of February.
As far as the carp flavors?
No, so what I done is I just done the bass, crappie, trout, and catfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent all the samples off around February 1st, February 2nd last year. And, you know, and then it was just a waiting game. You know, you send in, you know, your proposals, all your scent, you know, you got to send it, you know, to the right people. We had to send out 3 packages, and then it was just sit and wait.
Yeah, big old waiting game.
And wait. And then on May 14th last year is when I got the phone call. Of course, they, kind of like y'all done, they wanted to know my history, my story, where we started. You know, and the really cool thing is my buyer, you know, from Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
He was a carp fisherman years ago. Of course, now he's a bass fisherman.
Yeah.
But hadn't carp fished in years, but definitely he remembers the dough baits and all of that there stuff. And,
Old school.
Yeah.
So it piqued his interest, you know, that carp was our number one. That's where we started. But anyway, to make a long story short, he was like, Keith, you know, we've never had anything like this ever put in front of us,
Right.
you know. And you know, he said, look, he said, we're all in.
Nice.
And I said, so what does all in mean? He said, we want everything that you sent us. And I'm like, well, look, I mean, I'm wanting to jump up and down the street.
Oh, heck yeah.
And, you know, and yeah, we had that conversation for probably an hour. And so then that happened May 14th. Everything started. So that evening was on May 14th around 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
The next morning at 8 o'clock, our emails just
Wow.
Was it all the like different Bass Pro Shops or?
Well, what it is, it's so their team, there's just a really lot involved in getting all of this stuff set up
Yeah.
and making all of this stuff work. So you have to have a team on both sides, you know, and, but you know, it's photographs, barcoding, packaging.
Presentation, the whole nine.
It takes months, you know. Of course, photos have to be 2,000 pixels or above.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, we didn't realize that, you know, ours were only 1,200, you know, so bring in a professional, you know, so I mean,
Right.
it took months, you know, to make all of that happen, and finally a PO finally hits, you know, for the doorstep, and you know, we went in 56 Bass Pro Shops.
Wow.
And 12 Cabela's to start. You know, so that was our startup, and immediate right behind that, then there was replenishments that come in, and now they're starting to add more stores.
Okay.
You know, along the way, and so that was, you know, one of my goals was to get that done.
Yeah.
And once we got in there, you know, and product started hitting the shelves last September 22nd, you know, then it actually become
So,
reality.
real quick, sorry to interrupt you. When you say your product hit, you're saying all those stores, all your product hit 56 stores back in September?
Yeah, well, and the thing of it is it really, because the DCs were extremely backed up at that time, because we went in kind of right at the peak of hunting.
Yeah.
So, of course, their main priority was to get hunting stuff out on the shelves.
Yeah.
You know, but September 22nd last year, that's when our products started to hit shelves.
Okay.
You know, and now it was all the way up till probably Thanksgiving before all 68 or 70 stores actually got the ProLine products in and on the shelves.
Oh, wow.
And so then, you know, after that happened, you know, we waited till January. Once hunt season was over, about the second week of January, I mean, it was immediate. Things just, you know, they're getting ready for spring.
It probably blew your mind a little bit, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
You know,
real quick again, because what I'm coming to when you said your product hits all 56 stores at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, did you have to get some kind of engineer to come, you know, go find a building, a warehouse to start and make all this production going?
You probably already had that.
Or did you already have that? Or
see, I already had that in place.
oh, did you? Sweet.
Yeah, you know, and so I actually have a 3,000 square foot warehouse where I ship all the raw ingredients, you know, that we use to come in my tractor and trailer.
Right.
Then what I've done to make it a little easier on myself was I put my manufacturing facility is here at my lake.
Okay, sweet.
And you know,
Smart man.
Yeah.
me and my wife, we raised our 3 grandchildren, and it was just hard for me. My other shop is like 32 miles away.
Yeah.
And so it just made it more feasible, you know, for me and for Rhonda, of course, having the grandchildren here, to where I could, you know, then it was do my upholstery through the day, come home, and then I would work in the evenings and weekends in the manufacturing facility.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and like I said, last And, myself and the general manager had talked back and forth, the fishing manager on the floor, and, they were like, look, Keith, we're going to pull to get the carp flavors and you push. So they were pulling and I was pushing and,
It's always good when both teams are, they want the same. But I really want to say congratulations on that.
That's awesome.
And for the people that's watching this live, and then the people that's going to be watching this later on YouTube, I think everybody that's watching this, I don't know if Keith wants me to say this, but hit him up and thank him and congratulate him, because this is a huge milestone for the USA carp fishing period.
Just get into the
to be able to get in Bass Pro and Cabela's and stuff like that, man, that is a huge milestone. And when I talk about stuff like that, that's why I say Indiana and stuff like that, is we're so far behind, I feel, as far as North Carolina and South Carolina, because you got guys like Keith Cisney stepping up to the plate, doing something huge like that, and he's not doing that just for himself. He's doing that for everybody. Yeah. So it's definitely going to change and change the game for sure.
Definitely.
So thank you and appreciate that, Keith.
So I got a question for you. So there's always a big thing between bass anglers and carp anglers. You know what I mean? Do you have, when you go put your products in a Bass Pro Shop now, do you have any kind of anglers there says, oh my gosh, carp bait, what the heck?
So I'm going to use our ambassador, and that's David Dudley.
Yeah.
He's he represents our bass side. He's our professional angler, and David is ranked number 2 in the world for earnings. David's won $4.2 million in his bass fishing career over 29 years.
Wow.
Nice.
And we just feel like we were to that place where we needed someone of that caliber,
right,
to get behind us and represent the product.
Yeah.
Now, and the cool thing about it is David, someone give David a bottle of our products, and I don't even know who done it, but David reached out to me last August. We weren't even in Bass Pro Shops yet.
Wow, so that's kind of cool.
He was fishing a tournament on Lake Wiley up here in South Carolina, and he reached out to me and invited me to come up and eat supper with him that evening. And he said, Keith, I've been playing with it. He said, look, I love it, So he said, give me an education, tell me about it. And of course, I explained to him, how the products were developed. I didn't give away formulas, but
right,
the thing that he didn't realize is literally you can take our bass, crappie, trout scent, and infuse any soft plastics, any swim baits.
there you go.
And our scent literally will infuse into those baits. So it don't matter if you fish them 1 foot deep or you're fishing 70 feet. You'll have confidence that bait is going to be scented the entire time.
Nice.
The other thing is and let me just back up one quick
Go
second.
ahead.
Is in the carp fishing industry, it's not just about the scent, it's about taste.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
And so learning all of that through the years,
Yeah.
that also what we've done is our bass crayfish taste like crayfish. Our bass garlic tastes exactly like garlic. Our herring tastes like herring. Of course, some of these are nasty, really foul smelling, but
They work.
I
I went to a bait shop today, and it had some of your product there, and I tried as one. And
Hold on, you tried it?
no, I didn't try. I smelled it.
Did you catch
no,
yourself?
I smelled it. I smelled it. Bloodworm.
Yes.
I'm like, that thing stunk like a dead worm. I mean, it actually. It's kind of like you.
Like you've had worms in.
No, I mean it kind of like smelled like a little bit like a worm taste. I mean, actually, that name went with that smell. It was pretty. I'm like, man, this is pretty potent stuff. It was like.
Yeah, and of course that's what appealed David to the, and if you go back, David he done a live video on Facebook, he done a YouTube channel about our scent, and he put us up against some really big people, I mean, Berkeley, Bang, Magic Mike's or whatever, Spike It, I mean, Procure. He put us up against some really, really big companies, and
probably some of the top in the world that he's obviously probably used in the past too.
Dang.
yeah. Oh, and look, he even went into detail about using certain products, and and David says, I'm not telling you this, all of his viewers and followers, and he has tens of thousands. I mean, it's hundreds. I couldn't even begin to tell you how big his following is. But anyway, he's like, look, I'm not telling you this just to get you to use, to buy the product. He said, I'm telling you this because it works.
Wow.
And you're not going to convince a pro angler the caliber of David Dudley, just to tell him that.
Yeah.
And that was my thing for David is, look, take the product, fish it.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
If you like it and you continue to catch with it, then, let's talk. And that's how it all started. And just could not ask for a better representation.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Man, I'm excited for you, man. That's really kind of cool. That's really awesome, man. It really
Yeah,
is.
it is really kind of cool from, just him going from obviously doing upholstery on furniture. Did you ever do cars? Or was it just furniture?
Well, I did do a few cars. I done some older vehicles. I didn't like to get into the electronics, and just a quick is I done a GMC Silverado or whatever it was for a fellow. And he come in, I unplug the seats, take them out, I redo them, put them back in. He comes to pick up his truck and the truck won't crank.
Oh, no. What the
So
heck?
then you have to get someone to tow his truck to the Chevy dealership, and they had to reset the computer because the seats were unplugged. He brings me a bill for $400-some, wanted me to pay the bill for him to have to get his truck fixed, and ever since then, I just said,
I don't blame you.
I'll just stick to, the furniture.
Yeah.
Like you would know that would happen.
Yeah, at least you don't have to unplug any furniture and got to worry about that.
Yeah. Wow, that's a shame. But, lesson learned, I guess.
In the growing aspect, we just hired a marketing firm, that just helped us, they help us with all of our marketing. And probably early next week, Monday or Tuesday, our affiliate program will be up and running.
Oh, wow.
Where influencers all across the United States, it don't matter if they're carp, catfish, bass, crappie, trout, they can come in, they can sign up to do the affiliate program, and they'll be given a link that they can share on all of their Facebook, YouTube channels, everything that they do, and that link, if people go to that link,
Right.
going to drive them to our website. Then if people purchase, then they get a 7.5% commission on everything that they sell. And the cookies, so of course, this is key, is anyone that comes and visits their site or clicks on the link, that can come back a that person.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
Yes, so we really wanted to show them that, we want them on board.
Yeah.
And, because this is going to be a huge growing
Oh, yeah, definitely.
pain. I mean, it really, really should help us grow tremendously over the next several months.
That's great, man.
Yeah, and, the cool thing is with the affiliate program is the people that are interested, we'll get them, whatever they're interested in is, we'll send them a couple bottles, then it's up to them to create their own content, their own YouTube or whatever, to drive people to their site to want to purchase the product. And, just another added thing to the game, just to up the sales and help ProLine paints continue to grow.
That's great, man. That's pretty wild.
I don't think you're really going to have a problem, Keith.
No, I don't think
you
so.
already know, like you said, you've already got your foot in the door with the bass and the bluegill and the crappie, and, it just opened up to the doors for bigger and better things, for sure.
Yeah.
Quick question, do you guys have any pro staff or any field testers in the Indianapolis area?
Actually, we do not. Back me and TJ, and TJ had a few of his team guys,
Mhm.
And they fished our product some, and
TJ from Naptown?
Yeah.
yeah, look, TJ and them,
Mhm.
great guy,
Yeah.
great fishermen. TJ and them, they catch big fish, and
He knows.
but for us, we were kind of going in a different direction, we've been loaded up with pro staff for carp and all of that, and with moving into the multi-species is now we needed the bass fishermen, we need the cat fishermen, we need the trout and the crappie fishermen now.
Yeah.
So, and again, the affiliate program will give United States wide.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to get on board and join our affiliate program, they can sign up and become what they call an influencer.
Right.
Then you actually get paid to do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, with benefits, too, so, you guys watching out there, you guys, may want to take advantage of that.
Also, the people out there on Facebook, if you guys got any questions for Keith, just let us know. We'll relay the question to him. We got a lot of people watching already, so just ask away. All ears.
Yeah.
And also give a shout out to anything like you want to shout out
Your
to somebody,
flavor
your team,
company
or
or
whatever.
whatever it may be.
Shouts is all good. So, all right. Let me got a question for you, Keith.
Got a lot of questions.
A lot for you questions. Real quick, you got a shout out to anybody, Keith?
Oh, shout outs.
Yeah, why not?
Of course, my wife, my son,
There you go.
my family that absolutely support me 100%. I can't thank them enough. There's our pro staff, our people that's been involved, not just publicly, but even behind the scenes.
Right.
Like I said, there are so many people that has been involved that you don't get to see publicly. It
No.
makes it has even made all of this possible.
Definitely.
And so yes, definitely a huge shout out to them. Of course, the other great little group that I love to watch, I think, the American Carp Society.
Oh yeah, they're good people.
Yep. We
Yeah,
just did,
Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne. Who was it? Yeah,
They
Wayne.
do a great job. I mean, their photos.
Oh, amazing.
Is just
Amazing.
remarkable, and that's something I want to learn better is, better photos, better quality. And look, we're learning.
Yeah.
But these professional These professional photographers we bring in to do photos, they're very expensive.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm like you, that's what I want to learn. I want to get into more photos and detail on the video
You gotta
shoots.
it starts with your camera.
Yeah, exactly.
That money that you're putting into paying them to do that, you can take that and go buy the same camera that they're using,
Right.
and then actually end up taking the pictures yourself.
Yeah.
And of course, me and my son, we're talking about YouTube, doing some YouTube stuff.
Nice.
We need to get to go pros. But our biggest thing now, especially for me, is time.
Yeah.
I mean, my time is spent in the manufacturing facility.
Yeah.
Your time has gotten way more valuable.
Yes. And, until the company grows enough to where we have the right people in the right places.
Yeah. Then you get.
And the employees to make sure that the job's done and done correctly. I've just always been a hands-on type person. Well, I've done upholstery work for 30 years.
Heck yeah, so you was definitely some hands-on.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, that's probably about it. Of course, I mean, just all of our customers, what huge support we have, and I can't thank everything.
Well, here's the question I got for you. So, when did your passion for carp fishing start?
When did it start?
Yeah. Too long. How old are you anyhow? Keith?
Sir?
How old are you?
50.
He's 50.
Okay.
He's somewhere in there.
You're the same age as me. So what are you, born 1970?
It's actually 60.
Oh, no. You are older than me.
Yeah, so is that for my 53?
Okay. We'll stick with that.
Hang on, let me pull my wallet out and check my ID real quick. See?
But yeah, golly, I'm gonna say early 1990s.
Okay.
I've been carp fishing probably about 35 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, did it start in wild or pay lakes?
It definitely started in actually my first trip was to Greens
Okay.
in Cisney, and then my second trip was to the lake that I own now.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And of course, done that, like I said, for years and years, and bought the pay lake and just done that for years. And there was, for me, there's always been, of course, me and Daniel, Big Lou, the people that I fished with over the years.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's always been about bait. Anyone can jerk a rod and reel fish in.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been about the bait. What's gonna make the fish want to eat the bait, and keep fish eating, at least if you're catching, you got hands.
Yeah.
And so that was always more of a challenge, was the bait side, and then eventually just ended up starting to do it all on my, starting to make our own flavors, which we done here.
Right.
I got bottles, some of the first bottles that I won 8 or 9 years ago. Out there in my shop, up on a box, on a memory box that we have, and yeah, it just kind of all started from there and has grown into what it is today.
Yeah. Hey, people out there on Facebook, if you guys don't mind, share this to a couple carp group pages.
Yeah, that you guys may be in.
Yeah, and maybe get a little bit more bigger horizon of the audience too.
And not only that, you guys that are watching too, like I said, if you guys have any questions you guys would like us to ask Keith, let us know.
Oh, definitely.
We'll get them out. So the next question we got for you, Keith, is going to be, I guess I really don't even know how to ask this question really, because you know you don't only sell carp products, you got other products too. But I'm just going to leave the carp word out. And you can answer the carp, as a carp question, or you can do all around. It's up to you. What do you think makes a good angler? Whether obviously a carp angler. I mean, obviously that's mainly what our show is about. But since you have other products too, you can answer that question however you feel.
Oh, what makes a good angler?
Yeah.
What would be first? I'm going to say confidence.
I hear that a lot.
Confidence is always key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Confidence, determination, passion, and I don't care what you're fishing for. If you got it don't matter. I mean, dedicated. And I'm probably one of the biggest critics of my own fishing. My own technique is I'm always wanting to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
That sounds like a true angler to me.
Yeah, because it's not always about the positive things; it's about the negative things too.
Yeah. The why ain't we catching, or why they're catching and we ain't, we're right next to them type thing.
Right.
Right. And it's one of those where a lot of guys, I think, misunderstand about, whether they're wild water or pay lake, and they think that it's just all about the catching. For me, sometimes and a lot of times, it's just about getting out, enjoying myself, that free time. And to me, it's not always about catching fish. One, you can have the best bait in the world,
Yeah.
but if the fish are not in front of you, you're not going to catch them.
Right.
I mean, that's just plain and simple. And some people think that scent are magic and they're just going to eat it just because you dumped a whole bottle of ProLine baits. Look, that's not going to get any worms.
Right.
And for all the bait companies, flavor companies, in my opinion, is everyone has their own spin or their own thing that they do with their scent or their flavorings. No one's bait is magic. It's up to the angler to take whatever company they choose to fish with.
Right.
Learn to fish with it. Learn to blend those different flavors. Get confidence in the product and then fish it. That's what we tell everyone, no matter if they're bass, crappie, take the product, fish it, get confidence in it, because the product it'll prove itself.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Just give it a fair chance. That's all I ask. Give it a fair chance.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, you'll see results.
Nice. I like that.
So you guys take that into consideration out there, because he made some good points on, like you said, it's not always the bait or the flavor. You can have the best bait and the best flavor, but sometimes if you don't know how to use that stuff, to your advantage, and like you said, if the fish ain't in front of you, you can throw the whole sink in there and you're not going to catch nothing if them fish ain't in front of you.
Right. So there's a question for you. Now, as a sponsor and a owner of a bait flavoring company, how do you treat your sponsors and field testers? I mean, like, to keep them to go out there and keep using your product and all that kind of stuff, and give them like a lot of free stuff. And of course, the confidence that of course your flavor is great. I just want to know. guess the question, sorry, I'm not going to interrupt. Like the question is like, you know, for other sponsors that own bait flavors.
It's different.
Yeah,
For every company.
it is. It is. I mean, but given the ideas,
Yeah.
you know, what would you say? What would you say to sponsors, future sponsors out there? Let's put it that way.
So, and again, that has been an education we have learned over the last year and a half. We've always, you know, tried for, you know, to give free product to sponsors or, you know, to anglers.
Pro staff and stuff like that.
You know, one thing, you know, for us as a company is now that Uncle Sam is really involved. I mean,
It's tight.
everything we do has to be inventoried.
Wow. Details.
Yes, I mean, it's days of weighing product and counting, and it's like, anyway, anything, you know, whether we're sponsoring a kids tournament or we're sponsoring anglers to go fish a tournament or anglers to fish a pay lake or David Dudley, for instance, you know. So we have different stages, you know. We have ambassadors, which is David, that is and again, we're talking ranked number 2 in the world most earnings. You know, David's a paid position.
Right.
And his job is to promote ProLine baits, put it in front of as many people as possibly can, you know, to help drive sales back to us. You know, we have another young gun, you know, Bailey Moultries. I think Bailey's going to be a rising star.
Nice.
Great young kid, just really, really, really energetic, and loves bass fishing. You can just hear it when you talk to him.
Yeah.
And then we have those that we call influencers. Michael Knapp out of East Tennessee. We got Donnie Davis, which is sponsored by Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's. He's come on board, and actually we got a couple other of their pro staff that is looking at coming on with us as well. But now look, these guys do it just because they want to be a part of something that they see that has the potentials to be huge.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, and then on the carp side, so our teams that go to New York to fish, we will, you know, me and Rhonda do our absolute best we can to help them. We cannot pay entry fees yet.
Right.
Yeah.
But if they need some carp, you know, flavors or whatever, you know, me and Rhonda step up, we give them their hooks.
Oh, there you go.
At least what we've been, you know, just trying to help the guys, you know, there is as cheap as possible, you know, just because ingredient is so expensive, and it's like everything else, I'm not going to do anything cheap, you know, nothing but the best quality ingredients. I mean, some of this stuff, we literally pay like $5.19 an ounce.
You definitely don't cut corners on your product.
No. And so last year was our first year really fishing our bullies, ProLine bullies.
Yeah.
We fished 3 different tournaments. We had 2 teams finish in the spring. We had 2 teams finish in the spring. Then we went and done the St. Lawrence, which me and Mary, we won that tournament.
Was that in the fall or the spring?
So that one was the marathon. It was on the St. Lawrence. That was the 6-day event. And we had 2 teams finish there, and then we had 2 teams in the fall.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, you know, I think we're headed in the right direction. Of course, unfortunately for me, I'm not signed up to go fish any of the whitewater events for the first time probably since 2011. You know,
Your time is valuable.
I won't be in New York this spring. You know,
I didn't get to make it neither, man, because of the baby and our vacation is always scheduled to go to Gulf Shores, Alabama in May. So, you know, they changed it this year, so it's earlier than what it normally is. So I didn't get to make it there this year neither. And we did all right last year. We got first place in our section, big fish.
Yeah.
And then we got third place, big fish in our section. We got 7th out of our section, 12th overall. So we did pretty good too.
yeah. But I'll tell you what, to look there and compete, I mean, you're competing against some of the greatest anglers in the United States.
Yes.
And, you know, anyone at any given time can come from nowhere and,
Dominate.
you know, yeah. I mean, I can remember the St. Lawrence Marathon when Norbert and Zoltan,
Oh, wow.
they come up this the last morning. And, yeah, they had passed us the last morning by a couple pounds. And our big fish bite was coming from 5 a.m. until 10:30 in the morning. And, I'm telling you, I was a nervous wreck because it's approaching 9:30 and we still have not had a run yet. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I just I told Daniel, I said, look, let's get all the rods, let's put fresh baits on them all again. You know, I mean, we're down to the final 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, because it was over at what, noon?
I think so, or it might have been 2 or 3 o'clock that afternoon or something. I can't remember exactly when it finished, but we reeled in and I went and rebaited through the one end and I seen the fish rolling. And I told Daniel, I said, here they come. And we got all the rods, and the very last rod Daniel was baiting up, throwing in. There was a fish roll 110 yards straight right over top of the boiling pile. I said, hit that joker in the head. And that could not have thrown it any better.
Wow.
And
He didn't hit him in the head, he hit him in the mouth, didn't he?
within a minute and 30 seconds, I would say 2 minutes max, the rod runs 29:15.
Dang. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Wow.
We get it in, and of course, you know, we're excited. I said, look, you know, we can't give up. You know, Norbert and them, you know, they're right on our tail. And then come to find out, Norbert and them had caught another 28 right behind our 29, which would give them the lead. But while, so Colin Peters, bless his heart, you know,
Yeah.
passed away.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
When he
Good guy.
was there waiting at 29:15, one of our other rods took off, and it had a 27:14 or 13. And so yes, we got our 2 big fish bites that we needed around from 10 to 10:30, and was, you know, lucky enough, you know, that was enough to give us the win. But yeah, I mean, you know, all anglers having a good game
Oh, yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't think it's working if you just stick with it, you know, because, I mean, I've been a pack-bait fisherman all my life.
So that's
And
what
last year, I can honestly say I fished every tournament. I sent y'all several of the, you know, big fish pictures.
yeah.
Uh,
We got 'em.
I never threw one ball pack bait. I fished the boilie every tournament, start to finish, never over.
See, that's what I hear about that place up there. It's a boilie. It's all about boilies. you know. And who's that? Jolex. He said that, you know, he was like that way. He don't throw in
bullies.
It's nothing boys. You don't believe in pack bay.
and you know what's crazy? They really don't, because like I don't think I've never fished the tournament that, what is that, on the St. Lawrence or something like that. I've never fished that one, but I have been to Baldwinsville, and I'm telling you, when you see these guys show up in these vans and they open the back of the van, you're thinking you're going to see, you know, bags of pack or bags of oats and corn and stuff like that.
Boilies.
You don't. You see boilies on boilies on boilies, like a whole van full of boilies. Like, it's really and Tom, you know, Thomas, what's his last name? Thomas Beneghetti?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tomas or something like that. That's his name, or something like how he pronounces it. You know, he makes some great boilies too. Like, you know, he's a good angler. They came back and beat us a couple years ago. We was in first place the whole tournament from the time it started almost to the time it ended, and we got beat out that last night during the blackout.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing, you know, now that the tournaments have gotten longer and they're adding more hours.
It's going to be anybody's game.
Yeah.
And now that it's gone to a Big Ten, you know, now back when we used to fish total weight, you know, then the grits and the oats and all of that worked great, because then you were just looking for bites.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And now with it being Big Ten, I mean, you better have your boilie game on point, and you know, because that's what it's coming down to. Because the pack bait is going to attract the smaller fish.
Yeah.
And for me, at 53, look, I can do the endurance thing, and I can keep up and not sleep for days. I've done it for years.
Yeah.
You know, but there's no sense in catching all of those 12 to 21, 22 when they're not going to do you no good no more.
Yeah.
You know,
He's absolutely right.
You need the boilies that, you know, that you can put in, do a baiting campaign that's going to pull the fish in, keep them in front of you, keep them eating. You know, and I think it's key that when fish are eating your boilies, that you want them to be like you sitting down eating a bag of Lay's potato chips. You don't want to eat it boiling.
Yeah, you want to eat the whole bag.
You know, is I want to give, if there's 30-pound carp or high 20s or whatever in front of me, if I want to eat my boil, pass it through, and keep the next one and the next one and the next one, and give me every opportunity to catch that fish whenever he's in front of me.
Yeah.
And, you know, and throwing all the corn, you know, now pack bait, they're just going to eat it and pass it.
Yeah.
You know, but if guys are making a lot of corn, looking at them guys that's done well with it, you know, I've never been a big fan of it.
I'm not really neither, because they don't digest it as fast.
No, you know, and so anymore, you know, Beeville, St. Lawrence River, it's not about numbers. It's about 10 big fish.
Yeah.
And those guys that can learn to adapt and adjust their game plan and go in there and stick to it, whether it works or not.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing I fished, like I said, every tournament since 2011. And I learned something from every tournament. If I'm not learning, it's time to quit.
Right.
Yeah, and plus, you know, the environment, which is obviously the river that flows through there, you know, it changes too. So, you know, so you have to learn to adapt.
So when you fish that tournament, do you use snowball boilies, or or just one boilie on each hair rig?
So what I do is, you know, I like to give them an option.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, if they're biting a certain boilie, then they stay with that say 4 or 5 hours, when you're catching some fish.
Yeah.
And boom, and they just quit. So of course my boilies are colored. Of course we all know the reason that we colored them is, as soon as the carp go to eating the boilies, if they choose to eat the red ones, that's what they're gonna, when they hit the mat, you're gonna see red all over the mat where the back coming out.
Yeah.
Or if they like the yellow,
You're gonna see.
So how many varieties, I'm not going to say your flavors or anything, but how many varieties of flavors or what different type of boilies do you use?
So
Size
I'm
wise?
going to pre-bake. I'm going to bake my swim with a minimum of 2, possibly 3
Yeah.
different. I'm going to give them 3 different options.
Okay.
And then I'm always going to fish that hook bait. One of those is a hook bait, and then just give them something a little different, another boilie that is nothing like what's pre-baked with.
Okay.
It's going to be a complete different option to where they are going to single that hook bait out from,
The rest that's out there.
yes, whatever's in front of. And, it's like, now I can make any type of, so any flavor that we offer. So if guys go on ProLine baits and they look at in the Pro Series, Premium Series, I can offer boilies in any one of those flavors.
Right.
So all they got to do is buy, of course, I'm set up to run.
Thousands probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that video I sent you, that was our second time we set. So the first time we tried to set up and run, it was a huge failure.
Okay.
The second time, that was the first video I done of my machine actually in action. Of course, now all I can send you some videos happening. Salute.
How many, say like 30 minutes, how many does your machine make in 30 minutes? How many boilies?
Golly.
Thousands probably.
Thousands.
Well, the extruder will hold 500 to 600 pounds at a time.
Okay.
And that's what pushes. That's what
Pushes the tube.
pushes the tube or whatever.
But normally when we're running, because of making dough, so if you get too much dough made ahead,
Yeah.
and then it may start drying out. It's one. So we kind of, we kind of have a system, that we're on the way that everything's mixed to being wrapped in cellophane.
Mm-hmm.
That it's for, the hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, depending on, color, wetness, because, see, that's the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is when you change from red to yellow,
Right.
it literally changes the consistency of the dough.
Uh-huh.
People don't realize that, there's a lot more to just throwing ingredients in a bowl
Mm-hmm.
and color in a bowl and just, don't get me wrong. I know there's guys that do it and they do well,
Right.
but, I want to be consistent. I want all my baits, to be the same. But I'm going to say, well, I can tell you, we've set up, if I have a full crew,
Uh-huh.
we got the mixers running, we're mixing ingredients, extruder running, guys, of course the machine does all the work itself, guys, catching, putting on trays, steaming, same time, if there's 6 or 7 of us, we can do 1,000 to 1,500 pound in probably 8-9 hours.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, we literally can do it in a day.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know, so yeah, you know, and the key to that though is every time you change colors, you got to stop, you got to wash everything down.
Wow.
You know, now if our guys that are going to New York, look, they'll run them. They like to mix the colors.
Who's your guys? What's their names?
Do what?
Who's their names? Let's go to New York.
So Lane Johnson and Frankie Flippin, they
Good.
like to mix the colors.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
So
Good team.
yeah, they are great anglers, and you know, Lane, we've just recently put him on as our new North Carolina distributor, doing a fantastic job. I think he's done picked up 8 new retail stores since he's come on in the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you. I'm going to ask you on your PBs. What is your PB Common? What is your PB Mirror? And what is your PB Buffalo?
PB Buffalo 58.8.
Woo!
Lake Fort, Texas. PB Mirror was the one there. I sent photos of it. 2515 St. Lawrence. PB Common is 34 and 2 ounces. And I'm trying to remember.
Mine's 34 even.
I'm trying to remember where I even caught that. And those are all whitewater fish.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, PB catfish is probably 70, 80 pounds.
What's your PB Bass?
Oh, probably 4 pound, 40.
He said not nothing to brag about. he probably caught that in his front yard, everybody out there watching.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, probably. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I used to bass fish years ago. It's just, I mean, and again, I love to create a product to watch other guys that know bass fishing
Right.
know how to and catch big fish, you know.
Yeah.
But crappie fishing, no, I love crappie fishing. I mean, here about a week, it's going to be on down here. It'll be wide open.
Oh, it's already starting right up here now.
Speaking of crappie, 2 places I want to ask if you've ever fished for crappie. Have you ever fished in Reelfoot Lake in Tennessee? And have you fished the crappie capital of the world, which is Wees Lake, Alabama?
I have not. I have not fished either one of those. Of course, now if you talk the state of South Carolina, I fished Lake Murray, Lake Greenwood, Clark Hill, Hartwell, of course our local lakes, Bowen. I mean, I've crappie fished just about everywhere here in South Carolina, but I've never went to another state.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Well,
And,
if you-
I've been invited to go on a couple, actually this spring. You know, whether I have time to go or not, I don't know. So, but a lot of our time is, you know, we spend too much time in the manufacturing facility that, and then when the weekends hit, Friday or Saturday night, is we'll load up. We'll go local here
Yeah.
and drop the light off one of the bridges. Because our grandbabies, they love to fish too.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, we just got to take time but for us, I mean, we're approaching, this is our busiest season, is the only way we're going to get the fish, and that's if we go at nighttime.
Yeah. Well, I highly suggest if you ever get the opportunity or the free time. I mean, Del Hollow is lovely. I went there a lot when I was a kid, but and that was actually going on crappie fishing trips down there around them cypress trees and everything. But if you ever get the chance, Keith, I highly suggest you try out Wees Lake, Alabama, because it is the crappie capital of the world, and you can't keep a crappie there under 10 inches. And that's why it's the crappie capital of the world, because they actually have that 10-inch size limit.
Oh, well.
First time I went down there, I hit a 9.5-inch crappie. I didn't know it was 9.5 inches. I just grabbed it. I threw it in the live well. My dad was like, "What are you doing, son?" I'm like, "You see that big crappie, boy? I'm over here, I'm over here pumped because it's the biggest crappie I ever caught in my life." He's like, "Now you got to pull that out and measure it." And I pulled it out and measured it, and it was only 9.5 inches.
Oh,
so
wow.
I had to let it go. But once we started getting them 10s and 10.5, 11, and 12-inch crappies, it was on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love using crappie nibbles too. Do you guys have you guys thought about manufacturing any type of crappie nibble or anything like that, or do you guys have them?
Actually, that's on radar. So
Okay.
eventually, we want to get into
The artificials?
yes, bass, and then of course, we're looking at and we're undecided. There's two different ways that you can kind of do the catfish stuff. One is a paste, which we've been playing with.
Mm-hmm.
The other is definitely doing something on the boilie line, whether it's hookable or maybe educating catfishermen where they can fish, the actual hair rig.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then that comes with getting a lot of marketing dollars behind it to educate the fishermen actually how to use it.
The hair rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the benefit that comes there is then you can add terminal tackle in, because then you can offer some terminal tackle along with the package, and maybe some type of instructional, whether it's a video or literature that actually they can purchase it and it literally gives them an education.
Right.
I think a video would probably be your best bet on something like that because, it's hard for somebody to sit there and try to read on something that they're trying to put together when you can actually be better off pulling up a little video of it and somebody actually showing you.
Does Bass Pro Shop have that kind of stuff? The European, the tools, the needles.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Again, I think this, going
Open
back
up
to
them
that,
doors.
Yeah.
doors. This is going to open doors for probably a lot of things in the future, to happen. And one of the biggest things, and I know it's a very touchy subject, of course, all of us guys for catch and release, we don't care for, we just like, the bow fishing.
Yeah.
But the bow fishing is such a multi-million-dollar
Yeah, I know.
industry. And until carp fishing in the U.S.,
Yeah.
even remotely close come to what the bow fishermen offer as far as end consumers,
Mm-hmm.
we don't stand a chance.
Well, I know.
So, but I think as this continues to grow and products continue to surface,
Right.
and it becomes more well known in the States, especially placing carp products in key states and key areas where, because all your people get jobs, eventually they're going to see it, they're going to wonder, some people are going to, go home, Google it, and I think a lot of anglers, when they start Googling and looking at some of the size of the fish we catch,
Well,
and, the different ways that we do it, it's all about growing the sport.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Now, do you think, because obviously we all like to share pictures and stuff like that. Like, do you think the boat fishermen are really out here, like, seeing where our fish are being caught and, the places that we're going and catching these monster fish? Do you think they're maybe targeting some of the places that we go to, because they're seeing us catch these big fish like that?
Well,
In your opinion?
I think bow fishermen are going to bow fish because that's their sport.
Yeah.
Now,
That's what I was kind of thinking too.
when we publicize big fish in certain lakes, does that open up a door for opportunity for that to happen? Absolutely. And really all you can do is, again, meet with your locals, meet with your DNR, you got the wildlife managements, whoever. Just continue to plant them seeds, put a limit on it, let's stop it from, say, April till June 15th, let the spawn get over.
Exactly. That's a good one. I like
Makes
that.
it make it a little harder for them to.
Yeah. Just give it a chance to let them spawn and release their eggs and all that kind of stuff. And because for the longest time, I know bass anglers, they always blame the carp anglers. Hey, they're tearing up the, they're ruining the bass bedding and all that stuff. Well, it's kind of like vice versa too. Because the bass, they'll eat the carp young ones too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's dog eat dog. It's a big cycle.
Yeah, it's a big cycle
regardless.
to me. I think they all work together. It's a circle of life up for each.
But as we say that for the fish,
Yeah.
I guess we need to take that into our own consideration in trying to, like he said, put a limit on when when and where type thing.
I do like that.
Another question for you here. What do you prefer most? Lakes, rivers, ponds, canals?
Oh. Absolute love Del Hollow. And I think
I love it.
I think Del Hollow is you never know what you're gonna catch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as competing on the tournament levels, absolute by far, St. Lawrence, the Seneca River,
Mm-hmm.
Again, just coming together with anglers all across the United States, just competing on that top-notch level. That's just exciting to me.
Right.
It really is, especially when you're around so many different anglers from all around the U.S. And we all have the same passion, and you can just see it in
Even
everybody.
different countries sometimes.
Yeah, and you can just see it in the passion in the people, and actually talking to them, and just having a conversation with a guy that I've never, for instance, a guy I've never even met before, and just understand that we have the same passion, we have a lot in common, and don't even know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course now, and I know we haven't gotten to fish any tournaments out there since I think 2014 was our last year. Of course, Lake Texas has probably some of the most massive buffalo
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Never been there, but I see pictures, photos.
Speaking of Buffalo. We're about to have a couple episodes here
Next
in the next couple weeks.
Austin.
We got Austin Baylock, or Bolock.
Yeah, Bullock.
I want to say he's from North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
No, who's the other one?
We also have we're
Austin Anderson.
Yeah, it's Austin Anderson, which is from Texas. He has a guide service out there in Texas.
He's gonna be the one next week.
Yeah, he's next week. And then we're also, once we was talking about it and doing the Buffalo thing like that,
A lot of people didn't want to know
a
about
lot of people have been wanting to know, and a lot of people have been commenting names. So obviously we went with Austin, both Austins. One from North Carolina, one from Texas. So we also decided to do somebody that I feel like, because I've seen it with my own eyes in our home state. I haven't talked to him yet. He probably don't even know I'm gonna contact him.
Yeah.
But Mr. William Bear,
Used to be on the team.
Yeah, he was on our team for a while. That is one gentleman I know for a fact that he will tell you, I just made his buffalo bait. I'm about to go hit some buff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's what he'll do. He'll go and he'll set up and he'll hit the buff. But when it comes to buff fishing, like a lot of people don't know, you got to know. Some of them are going to just run it, but you will miss more buffalo than you will actually catch if you're not actually watching your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, for me, I don't target buffalo. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not, you don't pitch the numbers that you used to, and of course I don't want to get into, you cover that part of it, but, but there's still some really, really, really good fish, buffalo here in our local lakes, that can be caught, and killer carp, but there's, again, there's nothing like, I think those season muscles of the that's the reason that you just see that massive run. And yelling muscles just unbelievable.
And they do, like you said, it has to be the food source out there because them fish just get, my partner, Zachary Peak, and it was me, Zachary Peak, and Justin Keaton. My biggest last year in the spring was only 32.14, I think, and I got third place big fish. But Zachary Peak, he hit a 36 and some change, and I know, obviously there's way bigger fish out there than that.
Yeah. Well, I think that lake up there in the heart of the lake, that you get 40-pounder.
Nice man.
I think you're going to see something even bigger than that come out of there. That is.
Richie's good. He's really good.
Richie Eldridge is very phenomenal.
He's awesome.
He's a machine.
Even wintertime, it's fish.
I fished right next to him in the spring last year, and just to see them in action and to see the catapults, that they actually have that will place boilies this way, in a straight line like this, because I watched what they did. Like I literally watched them build a wall across the river and down the other bank to the right. That way, when them fish come upstream, there's a line here and a line here. So them fish ain't got nothing to do but follow that line and then come back and eat in that big circle.
Oh wow!
And I'm telling you, man, I watched Richie release 23, 24, 22, 21. Because their smallest fish was like 25 to 26 pounds, the same problem that I had in the spring of like 2019, I want to say. So,
Well,
he's a machine.
yeah.
Can't take nothing from him. We did our best. We tried. We didn't catch a fish in the spring. We had first place on the right of us, second place on the left of us, and we hadn't caught a fish for almost 30, 40 hours. Maybe even 50 hours. And then, bam, out of the blue, I started fishing closer into the bank and I started catching them.
Yeah. And that's all it is just, and of course I hope you feel a little different. I know there's guys that build those walls and they think they would. One thing about that river carp, if they're going to move to that way from the wind, there's nothing stopping them.
Yeah.
They may
That she was just throwing back.
Yes, and that last morning, but the issue had just absolutely sitting down on them boys.
Nice.
It was every fish that hit the mat was just pouring, red color. And, but again, just one of them run out of time. Strategy is, let them get out to that big lead run. And capitalize on some really good fish there, out the get-go. And sometimes, anglers let that get in their head.
Yeah.
And it's up to the angler, to just keep pushing forward. And, I was telling you when from St. Lawrence, when Norman gets on tan past us that last morning, and I thought, you got to be kidding me. I was about that.
Yeah.
To
not let it.
Like I said, since 2011, almost, every tournament involved. That was my first trip to the St. Lawrence River.
Nice.
And it was just, never won one. I had finished second, third, fourth, every place there was but win. And that's all I ever wanted to do. And, they say 130 hours, and I spent the longest tournament in history.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And
Yeah, they just changed it.
And it was the largest payout as far as someone would win first place and make $15,000 to win.
Now, did you see that they added a third section this year for the Baldwinsville?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good, really. I think that gives, other people chances to maybe recoup a little money back, but I see that some of the pegs are on the other side of kind of like where the lake is instead of like where the fish are coming in the river.
Right.
So I think it was only probably right that they did that because the people that are on them lake pegs, they may catch fish, but they may not catch a lot of fish like that because most of them fish are trying to head upstream to the Red Mill End to spawn.
Okay, so much fair. Yeah. Sorry, here's a question for you. Huh?
But the thing you got to keep in mind this year is unless they have a warm front early,
Yeah.
and that is the tournament is early again this year.
Mm-hmm.
Where we had fished it a couple of years there, we were fishing that second weekend,
Right.
and it was cold. The fish wasn't up in the river quite as good. Hopefully, weather cooperates, and the fish just be all through the lake, all through the river, and then, of course, that's one thing about it is there's going to be certain holes in them eggs.
Oh, yeah.
That usually got to be them when you sit down on them.
You better hold on.
Yes, sir.
Because that's how it was it was obviously different last year, but the first time I went and fished it, like me, Stephen Israel, and Justin Keaton, from the time I put my rods in until the time we put our rods out, we was catching fish. And that was our problem. Our smallest fish on our top 10 was 23, almost 24, so we're catching 21 after 22, after 23 even. And it was just like that last night. We just couldn't get nothing bigger. Our biggest fish was only 26 something that. But, that's what it says, you got to be able to target them bigger fish.
Right. So I got a question. What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I got a question for you. Who do you look up to as a mentor for advice on carp fishing?
That's a good question for him.
It is.
I'm sure he's probably got a couple people following.
Yeah, you probably a lot, actually.
Probably one of the ones that really, really sticks out in my mind, that is just a young kid, which I call kids because they're way younger than me.
Right, yeah.
But I'm going to say Sean LaHer.
Okay.
Now, is he a wild water guy, or is he a pay laker, or both, or?
No, he is just all around water. He's just with Tennessee High.
Yep.
He's just with Henry.
I know all them guys. They're good fellas too.
Yes. Which I mean, I like that whole crew. All those guys up there, but little Sean, I met him when his, when Sean was, I think, like 16, 17, he come to the Carolinas, Jason. And when I first met him, and just watched him throw as an angler, and he catches big fish. Actually, he puts me a lot in mind of Austin catches big fish in Texas, Austin catches big fish South Texas, and then Sean in New York, just the quality of his photos, the big fish he catches, it's just, very knowledgeable. Sean is really into the terminal side of it, which I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think, I'm probably gonna have to say that Sean is one that I look up to is watching him as a young kid to where he is now.
Oh,
Yeah. Has he been fishing? How long do you think he's been fishing for carp?
So how old is he?
I'm gonna say I met Sean probably around 2013.
Okay.
And he was just a young kid, probably 16, 17, 18. So I don't think Sean's even 30. And we ain't even 30 yet.
Yeah, I think he's in his 20s.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good person.
And just a really close kid. And just we've had a friendship ever since we met. And just ungrateful.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so next question is going to be, what would you say your favorite memory or a special moment in carp fishing?
I'm gonna have to say would be probably when I caught that big buffalo in Texas, and I was fishing with everyone knows him as my dog.
I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
That's probably the most memorable, one of the greatest, funnest fishing trips, which means we fished together for years.
Nice.
Really angler. I know we just lost his mother a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry to hear about that.
But yeah, me and Mo, we had a lot of good times, and that was definitely one of them. Because it was, I can remember sitting. That was the year that we seen all 4 seasons within 12 hours on Lake Fork.
He said it was snowing, it was raining, it was 80 degrees.
Unbelievable. The wind, the snow, the ice. I mean, and when you cross out of Texas into Louisiana, it went from 72. I mean, it's that fast. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say that 58-8 was probably one of
That's an amazing fight.
and road dog, trying to watch road dog, put that fish into that, you know.
He had to have a pretty good sized hog net.
Yeah, which I'm not going to say what he said.
Yeah. This is a family show.
And I don't care how you get that fish. But,
Get it in there!
you know, like, it's just full of standing timber.
Yeah.
That fish actually hung up twice.
Oh my God.
And I just kept working with it, and it come out and made a turn and got out again and went straight back in. Another one, oh yeah, I was a nervous wreck, but it was fun. We were like almost 40 hours in, and I told them, this is good, this company, don't let that one cut 2 hours. He said, okay. So I did. He come in, woke me up, and I slept 2 hours. He said, we're going for a coffee. I said, okay. So I put a pot of coffee on. He sat down in the big chair, and I stepped out of the 10x10, and my flagtail was laying in the water. And this is when I was still fishing with the eggs, bait casters.
Right.
And I went down and I took the slack up out of my, I brought my flagtail up off. I was messing there with the bait and everything, and I heard the coffee get finished. I walked in, got a cup of coffee, and boom, he's out. You know,
Game
and
over.
when I stepped back out of the enclosed pen, I felt like it was dead. And I looked down and set the hook, and then I screamed on top of my hook for 10 minutes before Moon woke up.
What the heck, man? Come on, man.
He was ready for his 2 hours.
We see that huge breaker come to the water, and again, you know, this is fake hot but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Nice.
So, of course, the wind was fun too. I can't take nothing away from the wind on the same boat.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Spending that much time with your friends.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know, took my granddaughter. She made that trip with us, and Daniel's daughter, Elena. That was awesome. And of course, I took my twin grandsons with me.
There you go.
And that was a lot of fun. It was interesting. Does y'all remember there when they give away the protein powder?
Yeah, that was last year, wasn't it? Or no? Yeah, that was last year in the spring.
Look, so my grandsons, we take them along, and these cook back, they have just been absolutely good. I mean, you couldn't ask for two better. I mean, it was just, we get out on the bank the first day, you know, we're baked up, and all of a sudden, these two boys, they are wide freaking open. Down in and out of the truck, up in the trailer, just running, and just, you know, twins, they fight constantly.
Yeah.
And next thing I hear, and I look around, and I can't remember if it was either Mark or Michael hit one another, and they laid the other one out cold.
Oh. Oh.
He laid on the ground. And I'm like, what in the world? You know, and I called my coach, y'all sat here. You know, don't move. And Lord, it's not 5 minutes, and they're up going in. It's just nothing. boys got into.
Yeah, they must have been drinking a Mountain Dew.
No.
Walked up to get something out of the truck, and I'm there on my bumper. We had got one of them containers, that protein stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they were dumping it in their water. 16 hours non-stop. Them youngins bounced from my peg to the next peg to it was anything like I've ever seen before in my life.
So, with that being said, do you think that protein and stuff that they was giving away? Because actually, I think I want to say I still have mine. Yeah, I do. Because it was there for everybody. Everybody could have got one. So, do you think that's like a certain protein to like maybe give you energy? Because obviously, from the sounds of it, it sounds like they was putting it in their water and it was causing them to, like you said, 16 hours.
Yeah. I was
That's it. It's made for. It's made. And it was given to the anglers for the anglers to use to help them fish that endurance tournament.
Yeah.
Giving them energy or staying awake or, whatever.
Because I was really looking at it like, I wonder why they're even, Like, why would they be giving these I really was, Because it was something, because I had been there before and didn't see none of that stuff, They wasn't trying to do nothing like that.
It's just like your boy, and again, you want the fish to feed on it, not only that it smells good, it tastes good, but when they actually start digesting that bait, is, that they're getting the correct amino acids, fat powders, and I like to use the scenario, a lot of guys drink those energy drinks.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And they want to get those, it puts a little bit bigger step.
Yeah.
Same thing with the boil. If you give them fish a bait that they feed on, that makes them feel good, it puts a little pep in their step.
There you go.
They're probably going to stick around for a little bit and probably, like you said, eat more.
Yeah. Very good. So, yeah, I have got another question for you. What kind of advice can you give on chumming your swim to bring the carp in? I guess
Of course, it used to be packed back.
Yeah.
That I've done, now that I do it, last year was the first year I fished 4 weeks, start to finish, and it's one of those things where I baited, found out, all my woman, found my ledges, drop offs, whatever I wanted to fish, just concentrated with my bait in, and then just waited. Of course, the bowling game, we know it's a waiting game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tomas, he kind of does it the same way, is he'll bait up, and he won't even throw a line, only for 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah. He'll be baiting all the time.
It's just focusing on building your swim and waiting, just wait for the fish to move in.
And he throws monster boilies too.
Yes, he does.
Me personally, I call them donkey chokers.
So, when you guys are fishing that Baldwinsville tournament, do you guys use any kind of pack baits at all, or just boilers only?
I'm using strictly boilies.
Just strictly boilers? Okay.
Put through one ball pack bait on one time last year, and all 3 tournaments that I fished.
Nice.
We, 2019, like I had hair rigs on. We did chum a lot of boilies, but we was also throwing packed up too.
Right.
And I think that was one of our problems. Come towards the end of the tournament when we actually needed some bigger fish. You know,
Because you're just catching smaller fish, right?
well, I mean, we wasn't catching small fish. We was catching, like, I couldn't tell you how many 20-pound fish that I released back to 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 back.
Yeah.
But because we couldn't get over that 23, 24 mark to
Yeah.
replace anything on our top 10. You know, like I said earlier, our smallest fish on the top 10 that year was 23, almost 24 pounds. So we had to catch at 26, 27, 28 to really gain any major weight onto our top 10. And then last year, you know, we did the boiling thing, and I really couldn't get nothing going on the boilies, so I kept the boilies on there, but I was packing, when I go in there, I use my casters.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very comfortable with my casters. I love using wild water rods too, but I think I kind of look at it as a little different maybe than everybody else because I've seen so many fish run straight to snags.
Okay.
You know, when you got a 7'6" Pele lake rod, and I got a clicker on there that's not releasing as much line, way less line than what somebody's quick drag is releasing.
Right.
So, because them fish are gonna burn it. As soon as I grab it, they're gone. So they're running, like I had Steven on one side, Justin on the other, and I'm sitting here pulling fish in left and right. They caught fish, but they lost pretty much all the big fish that they probably had hooked on because they was going straight to snags.
Gotcha.
By the time, when we have that clicker on, that fish couldn't pull that line out fast enough because of that clicker.
So, that's interesting. Yeah.
But it's different, it's different things for different people though,
They're probably in a different situation where you're at.
Yeah, and it all depends on the spot too. Like
Exactly.
Well, and the thing of it is the anglers that figure out their swim, and the key to winning Baldwinsville or even placing in Baldwinsville is overcoming the obstacles that are in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you're able to land, but the key is to land every fish.
Yeah.
Which we know a key deal is almost impossible. Because everything that's underwater will get in single muscle. But of course, there's not a team that probably never leaves Baldwinsville that says, I had on probably 6 fish out of it on the line.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you didn't get to see it because I'm constantly, the one was 30 pounds and it's only 16 pounds.
Because the fish are really, really strong and healthy up there. People don't realize, how strong them fish get because they're constantly fighting the currents in the river. Obviously if it storms, the water's going to come faster, which is going to cause them to work harder going up or whatnot, or even just fighting the current,
Exactly.
which makes them stronger too. So,
Well, Keith, man, I tell you, we're coming close to the end of the show here. It's great talking to you. You've got a lot of info,
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Just, hope that we can reach another angler and
Yeah.
it don't matter what they fish for.
you got them covered, right?
We get covered and, just really enjoyed the opportunity and look forward, some other time. Y'all need someone to fill a hole and I can help you fill some space, just let me know.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Get on board.
Yeah, appreciate that,
I
man.
think we'll definitely have to do that, man,
Yeah,
because I feel like, honestly, I feel like we've had, we've done a lot of people, a lot of good information.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can just tell when you talk to somebody how genuine, the conversation is going, and we're trying, we're still learning too. Obviously, of being hosts and stuff like that. We're trying to give the angler or business owner that we're talking to, we're trying, give them more opportunity to talk and listen.
I don't think you still have a problem. in business.
No, he's already well on his way.
He's got a game plan, he's got a roadmap, and he's headed for it. Yeah, gotta go.
But we definitely want to thank you for being on our show,
Yeah.
Keith. Once again, congratulations on getting into
100%.
Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop with, obviously he was getting in there with the
I like your strategy, how you did it.
Yeah,
That's great.
The
That's awesome.
crappie and the bluegill, which I don't know if you watched our show a couple weeks ago. I was just talking about this,
Yeah.
and I said that I literally said that a couple weeks ago, and I know we got it on film, and I was like, I really like where Keith is going, with his product, because he's got his foot in the door. And I said on that show, watch, I said, mark my words, he's going to have Carp flavors eventually going to be in there along with his other products. And then boom, here it is a couple weeks later.
Just announced it last Saturday.
Just announced it last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that's the exciting thing is, I've known it, for several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And actually I've known it since probably January. And, just one of those, the timing's just gotta be wrong. And you want to scream it from the rooftop, whenever you find it, but still there's a lot of work that's gotta be done.
Yeah. Well, you definitely let me or Tom know if you need anything.
We're always down to help out in any way we can.
Whatever to do with both carp fishing, if you got an idea for us, and we'll put our brains together and let us know. We'll be happy to help you.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I really enjoyed it, and probably one of the most pleasant conversations.
Yeah, 100%.
Tell our story, and for us, just real quick, and we can share it with a lot of people is, we kind of done this backwards. Is normally you build the brand before you end up in the big box store.
Yeah.
And we're in the big box store, and now we have to share our story.
Yeah.
And I just really appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, thank you. We're going to definitely have you on the show again.
Yeah, really believe this, Keith. It's really a pleasure to actually have, somebody that actually the knowledge and being on the business side of things that's about to open up. Well, not about to open up, because you've already opened up the can to where it's going to do nothing but grow into, like I said, making the carps, making it actually a sport.
Yeah.
It definitely headed in the right direction.
That's been my goal from ever since 2011, 2012. And it's like fish there, and I know a lot of pay-lakers now that do fish there, and
That's one of the main things.
Yeah, that's one of our goals.
That's our main thing. We say at the end of every show, we're definitely all about carp care. A couple years ago, we've been giving out landing mats for the last few years.
We have 11 left.
We have 11 left, and we had over 100 landing mats, and we've given them all away. And then we actually bought them out of our own fund a couple years ago. That's money that we made from the Cisney.
Yeah.
So we're definitely really big on the carp care.
and look at all from educating.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Now we just got to take what we've done here, with in Bass Pro, and we need to educate the American people that are in the sport. And there's a lot of people out there that enjoy doing it, and we just need to capitalize on it. And again, like I said, reaching out to your DNRs, or your warden, whoever they are, and just keep planting the seed.
Yeah.
Keep planting it and keep building it as it grows.
Yeah. And one day, we'll all sit back and say, look, I played a part in that.
I'm gonna sit back and say, you guys better thank Keith Cisney.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say, because you may not. I mean, I'm sure you know, but you know, just think about what it's gonna be in 10 or 20 years. You know, and for him to be able to sit back and be like, you know what? I was the first person to ever get a carp flavor, you know, inside Bass Pro Shop. Like, that's a huge milestone. I don't, you know, for the people that's watching this and the people that will be watching it, you guys reach out to Keith, you know. Tell him, like I said earlier, tell him thank you, because you may not realize it now, but, you know, your kids are going to be the one that's going to pretty much benefit from all the work that he's put in to get these flavors.
This probably another step for other, more like more European stuff's gonna probably start coming over here to the U.S. Get into Bass Pro Shops, you know, whatever, bibbies, 12-foot rods, 13-foot rods, spot sticks. I mean,
I'm surprised they really haven't already, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
Because the rods and, you know, just the equipment alone and the landing mats and the cradles and so.
but hey.
Usually, you know, that's definitely on my radar. You know, as the company continues to grow, is, you know, coming out with our own line of luggies and ground lines, you know, rod. I mean,
I like the way his mind and his brain's working for him.
You're always thinking, Keith. You're always thinking.
I mean, and this is honest. It's me and my wife. We think we go to bed talking fishing. When talking fishing.
And that's a blessing right there, all by itself. When you can.
I think it's sexy when my wife starts talking carp fishing to me. Like, yeah, you go, girl. Talk about it during talk to me.
But again, fellas, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
And we'll do it again, and hopefully we'll have some more big news then. And let's really get forward.
Well, you know, if you ever do get some big news like that, Keith, you know, feel free to hit us up and like, hey guys, you know, I got some news maybe I would like to share with people. I mean, obviously, you know, you can put up a post if you want, but maybe you can release some good news on our show, you know, so we can encourage some other people to come watch our show and to learn that good news, you know. So.
I mean, any time that I can be a part of that, and you know, we definitely have a heart for kids.
Thanks.
And you know, that's like you said there a little bit ago, Thomas. It's our kids that you know, next year, my grandbabies.
100%.
You know, just
Real talk right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And so for sure, I'll also really enjoyed it. Looking forward to setting in. Of course, next Thursday, I know I'll be, you know, we'll be setting up in Columbia next week.
Nice.
So hopefully, anytime I can tune in. You know, I still got probably the next 2 or 3 weeks of traveling.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to stop for, we'll be done with the shows till next fall.
Yeah.
Just because we're just getting so busy that,
But you've already put in enough of the footwork, like going to these shows and everything like that, that, you know, everybody's going to see that and they're just going to follow suit.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the product's going to speak for itself, and the anglers that you have using your products, like you said, they're not just upselling a product, they're only selling it and using it because it works.
yes, and that's what it's about. Building that brand.
Yeah. And you definitely built a good brand for sure. Because I have used some of your products, not like the Bastard Bluegill, but I have used some of your ProLine flavor. Yeah. Actually, I have some. Chocolate raspberry is probably one of my favorites.
It's actually a big
Yeah. It's definitely good, whether you're putting it on a pickup or you're actually putting some in your bag.
I tell you what, one of the, of course, we have a lot of online sales. We ship a lot of products to Indiana.
Yeah.
I just shipped one up there the other day. It was $200 and some order.
Okay.
And actually, but over probably the last 4 or 5 orders since went to Indiana in the last couple of weeks. Dark chocolate malt nut is definitely number 1 on the list right at the moment.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice.
And that's, it's a premium. But yeah, somebody up there is using a lot of it.
TJ.
I'm not going to mention any names.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone's liking it.
Yeah, very good. I like
Well, it
that.
seems like the fish are too, if he's ordering it like that. So,
Yeah, there you go. So, hey, again, thank you, Keith, for your time. Appreciate you. Okay. You too. All right, thanks, Rob.
thanks, Keith. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keith.
Keith Cisney, everybody.
From ProLine Baits. So. All right, our next guest will be Austin Anderson next week. We're going to talk about buff fishing.
Yeah, he's he fishes in bigger lakes.
Texas.
He does a guide service on Buffalo. He's already sent some pictures of some monsters. I can't lie,
Yeah, send them. I just didn't basically.
Well, I mean, I've seen already. Just from going and finding his page, his profile page and stuff like that.
Your profile, okay.
Yeah, we were stalking you, Austin.
But beautiful.
He definitely catches some big fish, man. That's one of my bucket list lakes.
When we announced that we're looking for a buff guy, that
kind of blew up, really.
It did.
We had a lot of people, and again, we appreciate all the feedback and you guys tagging all the different people. We really don't talk about Buffalo as much as we probably should.
They're not really part of the carp family, but still, it's still fun to fight.
Yeah. So we're gonna step out of our norm. You know what I mean? Not me, because I love buff fishing. I started out no ball fishing, so it just brings me back to the the memories and the stuff that I have from doing that. Bow. So being able to catch them.
Yeah. So we've got a couple carp anglers that we've got in mind, but
Three.
And
We was only trying to do a couple, but
the top person that people said they'd like to hear from was
Austin Anderson.
Yeah.
And then obviously, we stepped out and went to found somebody in North Carolina.
Yep.
So with the other Austin, I was talking to him and he was telling me, his dad pretty much got him into fishing and, there was buffalo there, but nobody was really targeting them.
Right.
So he started obviously. Austin Bullock?
No, they've got another guy. From 7.
I don't know. I know I'm gonna get Bear. I'm gonna get William Bear on there.
He's
That's
on
gonna be
something.
3. So
I can't. But he seems very knowledgeable.
I
was just telling him.
Mark? No. I'll be able to tell you because you told me his name.
Yeah. Sorry if I got so many names and people.
Yeah, because we get a lot of messages and everything like that. So.
Single day.
But it's a good thing. We enjoy the feedback for sure.
Definitely.
Are you talking about David?
David, yes.
David Burns.
Yes.
From North Carolina.
He's going to be on 7th. Very knowledgeable carp angler. So,
and I think he does wild water
and
he does pay lake, don't
he does. South Carolina, right?
No, he's from North Carolina.
North Carolina, sorry.
Yeah, he's from North Carolina.
Yeah, I knew he's
David
Burns.
Burns. So we'll have him on there too. So we got like 4 guys that we're going to be interviewing on buff. So we're going to be able to give you different techniques from different states that people use, to hopefully help you guys out that's going to be eventually watching the show, and stuff like that.
But
Always support.
Yeah, your local bait shops.
Always. Downtown Bait and Tackle,
Yeah.
Adams Outdoors, Indy Bait and Tackle. The list really goes on and on and on, but those are your 2 or 3 main shops.
Around Indianapolis area.
Yeah, in the Indianapolis area that a lot of the pay lakers and wildlife guys
And
use.
if your bait shop in your guys' state does not have carp fishing stuff, so get some carp fishing.
Yeah, get a hold of James Sanders, owner and operator of Bottom Feeder Baits. It's been a proven fact that it works. I've been a field tester for years.
Yeah.
Ricky Massey's been,
Oh,
Jeremy Burdine. We've all caught, big fish on all of it. DeJuan, we've already proven that it works.
yeah.
So, tell them to hit up James, or, you guys hit him up and try to get James's product in there, Bottom Feeder Baits, pack baits, pickups, you name it.
Always practice
Carp care,
landing mats.
landing mats, baby changing mat, an old mattress, whatever you got to keep
We're just
them.
gonna keep on preaching this all the time, guys.
Yeah, so you guys better, get with it, and I haven't been to really no pay lakes this year yet because none of them's really been open but Hubbard's, and I've pretty much been shouting out Hubbard's a lot here lately, man, because I feel like everything that we're talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Robert's, I'm not saying he's catching on, you know what I mean? But he's listening, because I went in there. Yeah, well, I went in there for a tournament, and he had the wastelands in there. He had carp caddies in there, or not the carp caddies, but the cradles. You know what I mean? So people are paying attention, and people are watching. So one thing we can do is just keep pushing it, keep preaching it, like Keith said. You keep planting seeds.
Do your pay lake boss, lake boss's favor and take them for. So okay.
And for all your overland carp needs, always, big carp tackle. They keep all your wild water stuff. They have for years.
Yep.
They've been, they do an awesome job. They get it straight to your door.
David Warren and the gang does a great job.
Yep. So we appreciate you guys. And make sure to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the like button, and then hit the little bell button down there. It'll be somewhere down there, but make sure you hit that. That way every time that we post a video or whatever, you're gonna get that ding and be able to know and watch it. So, but we appreciate everybody.
Hey guys,
we're we're out of here.
Thanks. Bye.